Inhale right down into the belly. Allowing the breath to be long and deep. And even here, that takes patience. It takes a practice. Letting the mind just follow the beauty of the breath into the inner landscape, into that wildflower place. For this moment in time, be so grateful as we're bringing love into the world in this weekend of Valentine's. Just gratefulness and love to this house that holds your spirit. And this house that holds your spirit not only holds your spirit, but holds the universe. Everything that is connected to that. It has its own sense of eternity inside. We touch that as many times as we can through this yoga practice. Now bring your breath into the belly, then let it rise all the way up to the lungs, and then from there all the way up to the base of the neck. And again, you want to hold, not rush. Hold this space. A bit of eternity right here, And then exhale out from the throat, down into the lungs, and then again into the belly. Now that we've been here for a while, let the sits bones find their way more earthy. Well, engage your belly towards your lower back and then up towards your heart. And then elongate the spine a little bit more. Make sure your chin is parallel to the floor and is not either coming forward or back, and that you are resting your head on top of your spine. All these alignments just allow us to stay stronger in our heart, feeling the support of the whole of your body, breathing into your spirit, into the inner landscape. Moving at your pace through the belly, lungs, and throat, 3-part yogic breath. And slowly exhaling out. And now keeping your spine elongated, you're going to let your chin come down to the chest as you breathe into the opening of the neck and the upper part of the back. Feeling what you feel, but don't go to pain, whatever it is. Just allow yourself to just feel maybe some tension, maybe holding something there. But you want to always stay connected to this deeper breath. And when we move into pain, we move away from this deeper breath. So the breath continues to bring us into the inner landscape, and that's where we want to be. And then release your hands from your thighs on either side of the floor. And then inhale your arms and gaze all the way up into the seated sun breath. And we turn the palms and we exhale, fingertips down and chin to the chest. And then the palms roll upward again, arms and gaze all the way up. Turn the palms and exhale, fingertips down and chin to the chest. Inhale, palms all the way up again, and just feel the air coming into the palms of your hands. And last time, palms roll all the way up. Hands go to prayer over your head, then down to the heart as you close your eyes for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. Just taking a nice deep breath and coming back to the alignment where your chin is neither coming forward or back, but is right on top of your spine. able to elongate from the little sits bones all the way up to the top of your head. Just let this Valentine weekend love just fill your breath. You bring it into your body. And then release your hands, but stay in a seated pose. Take your hands behind your head. Find a place where you are pressing your head into your hands into your head, but it's not a strong, it's like you're just gently pressing one into the other. It's not a competition. It's more like you're finding a place where you can feel some of the energy down here into your belly, taking your chin back slightly. Jalanhara Bandha. This is one of the three bandhas. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalanhara Bandha. So you press back with your head into your hand and then lift up through the spine. So like someone is pulling you from the very top of your head. Good, nice deep breath. Good, now keep the length through your neck, keep the length through your back, and just let your chin come down to your chest slightly. You're keeping a little teeny bit of pressure, hand to head, head to hand. Little isometric. Your chin isn't even going too far. And then you're releasing and coming all the way back up again. And then just gently move your left elbow towards the floor and just a little bit of a stretch. And then inhale all the way up, and then the right elbow onto the floor. Either way, we're going to go back and forth. Inhale up, the first side, head to head, in a gentle meeting of the places in the back of your head. Good, then release and come all the way back. You're going to let that release and just let your head just kind of shake a little bit, just a little bit. Good, then come all the way back to center. Move the arm bone up toward the ear and back. And then from the back to the front. So this winter practice wants us to move slowly and deeply. Good. One more time. Head of the arm bone in the first direction, up and around. And then from the back to the front. Good, then coming all the way back to center, left hand onto the floor, right arm up, and you're gonna, this is it, to keep the right hip down, stretching. Hands are active, so they're not just kind of flopping over, you're just reaching. Now if you can't reach too far, just stay right here, just get the stretch and breathe into your side body. And then releasing, come all the way down, and left arm reaches up and over. Remember, no two sides are the same. Breathing in. It's not a contest to how far we can go, but can you get your breath into your side body? Good. Then release and come all the way back. And just walk your hands forward. Let your elbow come onto the floor. Or if you can, or stay upright, whatever works for you. And what I want you to do is make it so that you're feeling your breath move right into your back body, whatever allows you to do that. And I can grab my belly in towards the spine and help my hips to stay closer onto the floor so I can get a nice elongation through my spine just with a simple movement of keeping the hips down by using my belly. Breathing in, and it's all about just making that connection. And we hold stress in our body. We all do. We just want to find where that stress is, make peace, and breathe. And then release and come all the way back up. So let's come over around our feet into the table pose. Fingerprints down, back of the palm, knuckles down. And exhale into a cat. And inhale, cow. So we're just going to allow ourselves to move gently with the breath. Exhale into a cat. Let your tailbone start the action. And inhale into a cow. Good. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. And this will be the last time. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. Good. So we're here, come back. It's very easy for me to have my belly go down towards the earth. So I'm going to just take a little bit, just to bring the rib cage. It's more like my rib cage up. I have a tendency to collapse right there right in the middle of my back. It's an autopilot thing. So I want to bring more strength to my back and to my heart. It's part of my goal this year. Bring the rib cage up. Your right toes are going to come onto the floor. You're going to exhale back and inhale up. Let your spine be strong and straight. See what you need to do to adjust your body. For me, it's bringing the rib cage up, engaging my belly. Good. I want to feel my breath move to my heel. So we're going to just do a little bit with the glutes today. You're going to lift the leg up, toes down towards the floor. So we're just parallel to the floor. You're going to bring your toes to the earth and then lift up again. And toes to the earth and lift up. Nice deep breath. Toes to the earth and lift. Again, press your heel away. Activate your toes. Toes to your heel. Lift, stay here. Add the left arm up, pointer, with a nice deep breath. And then release and come all the way back to center. Let's go into a child's pose. Knees out, toes together. Roll back into the extended child and breathe. Your right side is going to feel very different from your left, and just realize that and breathe. Just breathe where the breath can go easily into your body. Again, we're just inviting this love fest in. Talked about wildflowers, being the wildflower that we are. Wildflowers tend to be strong and colorful and rest in their place. They know who they are, and they shine that out into the world. And then inhale and come all the way back into the table pose. This time it's the left toes onto the floor, you're pressing back. Opening the calf and hamstring, and inhaling up, exhale back, inhale up. Move through your toes too, keep your toes settled so that we're really giving our feet a little bit of action as well. And exhale back, inhale up, exhale back, inhale up, and last time, exhale back. Now we're lifting, and we're doing a little, you want to really work your glutes and your leg by spreading your toes, letting your heel press back behind you. You're going to engage the muscles of your leg. Then take the foot, leg straight, foot down towards the floor, and then inhale up. So you're pulsing. Foot towards the floor, inhale up. Good. Towards the floor, and then inhale up. Again, towards the floor, inhale up. Towards the floor, inhale up, and last time to the floor, and then inhale up. So this time we're going into balasana, the extended child. We're going to do a little more active work. Knees out, toes together, but you hold on to the outside of your mat. So you're holding the outside of your mat, pressing back. And I want you to literally rip your mat apart. I want you to press your hands away from your hips and your hips towards your hands. Now if you have any neck issues, I want you to just extend your head from your neck. So you're not bringing your head down here, you're lifting it up and you're creating a nice long line, keeping the curve of your neck, very important for the health. But you're lifting your head up, almost like you have your head into your hand and hand into your head, like we did in the very beginning of the class. So you're keeping your head up, and then with the rib cage in, belly up towards the lower part of the back, you're pressing your hips towards your heel, extending through the spine and breathing into the spine. There's nothing passive about this pose. You're really actively working. Belly in, hips down, arms away. Taking a nice deep breath. into downward facing dog. And again, your head is not down here. It is between your arms. And you're extending your head towards the floor. Remember, hand to hand that we did in the beginning of the class. That's the feeling I want you to bring to each and every one of these poses. Like you have your hand in the back of your head. You're gently pressing into your hand. Now bend into your knees. Take the top of the thighs back. Breathing in to see if you can get more of an open spine by bringing the tips of the rib cage in. And again, bend your knees generously. Then just take your sits bones up towards the ceiling. Get a little bit of a deep low back curve. Good, then release and come all the way back down and come into your palms together and forearms onto the floor. Here we go. So just for a moment, come into this pose. Forearms, hands clasped, forearms onto the floor. You're going to press your heels back a little bit and let your belly go down towards the floor. So you're going to have a really big accentuated low back curve. And now, bring the rib cage up. Begin to lengthen through your spine. Bring your head a little bit more towards your hips, so it's a little bit more between your arms and stretch. See if you can breathe into a different part of your back here. Rib cage up, hips back, and breathe. Keep extending your head towards the floor, just like we did before, like you're pressing your hand into your head. Good, then inhale and come all the way back up. Just a little more of an opening through the shoulders. So come into, take your blocks, and we're gonna come into a kneeling pose with your blocks here. And I want your feet to be flat onto the floor. So we're giving your feet a little bit of a reverse stretch. We just did a big stretch through the shoulders here. Little feet reverse stretch. You're going to lift your knees up and your hips up to come onto the tops of your feet. And you have your blocks. So, I mean, if you feel like you want to do this lower, I think it's a little easier if you're a little higher up. But I want you to stretch your feet in the opposite direction that they normally are stretching. So you've got your toes down, you're lifting up, coming onto the top of your feet, and then releasing back down. Just one more time. Inhale up, and then exhale, stretch. Good. All right. All right, so put your blocks onto the side. You can take your tie, and we're going to come into a standing pose. Woo! Lots to do today. So I have my little tie, my tail, going down so that I can hold it when I do an opposite stretch. But you're going to just start with your feet mat width apart and you're just lifting up. So maybe a little bit more than mat width apart. You're stretching up. And here, again, this is just feedback. So when you have this tie on your back body, right behind your heart, is touching into your shoulder blades. Bring your rib cage in slightly and see if you can find a place where you can feel your perineum to the top of your head. Where you can really feel that line. Like I break the line right here, everything gathers right here energetically on my body. If I just bring that in, then I can feel the energy moving right up to the top of my hands. Good. So just find that feet should be wide. Get your feet wide. You're going to hold this, bend into your right knee, and then inhale up, and then to your left, and inhale up, bend into your right, and inhale up, and left, and inhale up. Good. So for the moment, just let your tie go around your shoulders. At least, I don't know if everybody, I think, Trish, I think you're the only one that actually has a tie. Everyone else is, yeah, just let it flop. Turn your left foot so that it's parallel to the long side of the mat. Little toe mound on the right is parallel to the short. You're going to bend into the knee and then inhale up. And again, I want you to do this through your muscles. No snapping of bones. It's slow and it's deliberate. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. What I'm trying to do is get you to connect to the neural connections of your inner groins, top of the thigh, back. This is slow work. Exhale and bend. Arms out into the T position. Nice deep breath. And we'll look over your left hand into Virabhadrasana 2. Good. Then bring your left hand onto the knee. Grab your tie again. One hand with the tie. Rotate the torso. Help you to see how you might rotate the torso a little more with the aid of this tie. So the tie should be around your back and and now add your other hand up. So you're bringing both hands up, all core work. Now take the top of the right side back a little more, rotate a little more, maybe go a little deeper. Breathing in. Good. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Just turn your feet right where you are. Good. Let your tie relax a little bit. Bend into the right. Remember, no two sides are the same. But the actions, we want the actions to be the same. So really work through the muscles. Like I'm very conscious of pressing down into my feet to straighten my leg, and then watching how that ripples all the way up to my hip. Exhale, bend, and inhale up. So you want to create this communication with the muscles so that when you're doing something very different, like a headstand, or your very controlled headstand, or handstand, or something like that, you want to have this connection made. So the next time, you're going to bend into the right knee, arm goes out into the T position. Look over your right hand. Take a nice deep breath. Good. Then you're going to bring your right hand onto the mat, left hand up with your tie. So we're really pushing, being conscious of the rotation. I'm going to use the tie to help you get feedback to the shoulder blades, rib cage in, then add your right hand up as well. Now this is where it really becomes more of an exclamation part for me, with the rib cage in, breathing in, top of the left thigh back, bending a little bit more, then inhale and come all the way back up. Good. Turn your foot. You have your tie around you. This time you're going to hold on to the bottom of the tie, and you're going to stretch forward, keeping the head of the arm bone back. So we want to be very conscious of how many times the head of the arm bone comes forward, and this is one of them, where it's very easy. So this little feedback of keeping the tie back. You want to bend your knees or soften your knees. Extend through your spine. Your head is still pressing into your hand, like we did in the very beginning of the class. Good, just halfway, and then inhale, come all the way back up. The nice deep breath, exhale and stretch. All of this has to do with feet solid onto the floor so my legs are strong, so I can work on other parts of my body that I want strong. Inhale up. One more time. Exhale and bend. Woo! And inhale all the way up. So heel toe your way all the way back. Keep your tie right nearby, but still hitched where it is. You're gonna take one of your blocks now and bring it to the outside of the right block, the right part of your mat. Right foot forward, left foot back. It's just stepping back. It's not going out to the side, it's not going behind, it's just you're square and stepping back. So let's see if we can use some of these feedbacks that we have with the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. And Parvottanasana, right hip back, left hip forward. You want to keep this square, not do one of these. Here, this is where the stretch is. Keep your knee soft, not easy. Exhale, forward, halfway, and then inhale all the way back up. Again, right hip back, left hip forward, left heel onto the floor. You're extending through the spine. Take the rib cage in, lengthen, like you're holding your head. In fact, let's do that. This is harder though. I'm warning you ahead. Press your head into your hand into your head in the same gentle way that you did before. Just kind of notice where your elbows are. You're going to exhale forward the whole time that you're pressing, coming forward. You're pressing lightly, head to hand to head, and you're unlocking your knee. And the only way you can do that is by pressing into your feet. Inhale all the way back up. Good. See how much harder that is? All right, and then take your block onto the side. You're lifting your left arm all the way up. You're crossing your left over your right so that you're holding on to the block. Rotate the torso and breathe to the right side. Keep your right hand onto your hip. Just keep elongating through the spine. Make sure that your block is in a position where you can stretch your spine a little bit, not close it down. Good, then inhale and come all the way back up and shake that out. Woo! Block over to the left foot forward, right foot back, Parvottanasana. No two sides are the same. It's tough. Breathing in, just find your way into the center. I like to feel my energy right between my legs before I start this because I want to get a sense of where my balance is because this is a balance pose as well. My knee wants to lock. Very easy for my knee to lock. I have to put a lot of power into the four corners of the feet. And then keeping this square. Hands onto your right hip. Left hip is going for a right hip forward. Left hip back, right hip forward, come halfway, just halfway, and then inhale and come all the way back up. Keep the length through the spine, like you have your hand behind your head. Exhale forward. This is a way of strengthening your heart, connecting your heart to the rest of the strength of your body, and opening it at the same time. Inhale up. Nice deep breath. Then just bring your hands to your head. Make sure that you're not wearing the head of the arm bone as earrings. You're keeping the head of the arm bone back, and you're hugging into your back body with the serratus muscles right here, hugging back. Hand to head to hand. Keep your knees soft as you come forward. And then inhale all the way up, just making all these deep winter connections, coming all the way up. Right arm reaches all the way up. This is Parivrtta Trikonasana. Nice deep breath. And you're going to reach, exhale for the block, right hand onto the block, rotate the torso. So I think about when I'm rotating the torso, it's just around that midline, around the spine, breathing in. Taking the left hip back, right hip slightly forward, and then release and come all the way back up. Good. Whew, lots of work. All right, taking the block onto the side, you're going to come into Kasarda Padottanasana. Feet parallel to the short side of the mat. Go wide. We're going to go forward. Now again, as you're going exhale forward, as you can see, easy for me to just all fall back. And what I'm doing is really stretching ligaments, not good. So you want your feet solid, little bounce into the knees, exhale forward. So I'm controlling, my hips are going back, but I'm not taking my whole torso back. Hips are going back. You're going to come onto the floor, hands onto the floor, and walk. Walk forward into a Pasarada dog. Bend into the knees, take the top of the thighs back. Real easy for me who collapses in the middle of my back to lose my belly down to the floor. And I'm going to bring my belly up towards the spine, up towards the heart, and take the rib cage up as well. My head is right between my arms, and it's like someone is pressing the top of my head in with their hand, and I'm stretching up and forward with my head. So the whole time you're always lengthening and stretching your neck, the upper part of the back. Balance that with the thighs going back, inner groins going back, and you've got yourself, boy, a winter stretch here. Nice deep breath. All designed to help the heart open with strength, with courage, and then slowly walk your way back up. Good. I want to do a twist here, so you may need a block. I'll show it, bringing my block over. I'll bring the block. You may not. I'll show it with the block. So you want to find your way, lengthen through the spine, left hand onto the block, right hand rotates with a nice deep breath. Head in line with the spine. Don't let your head go anywhere, but straight out and then just looking up. Yeah, don't bother with the hand, don't bother with the hand. Yeah, I want your shoulders to feel more of the twist. Mary Louise. Nice deep breath. Good, release and come all the way back and come all the way up to center. We have autopilot things that we do in our body. Not easy, especially at this stage of the game, to change them, but it requires us to do these itty-bitty little kind of awarenesses. And sometimes our old practices don't always serve us. So in this one, I want you to think more about rotating the torso, stabilizing the thighs back, feet onto the floor. Don't even bother with the hand going up, because what I want you to do is keep the neck long, strengthen the neck muscles, keep the neck on top of the spine, just like we did in the very beginning of the class, and feel like you have a hand pressing in the back of your head. That'll change your practice. Exhale forward. Again, right hand is onto the block. So we're going to set this up for success. Feet solid onto the floor, inner groins back, rib cage in. Lengthen through the spine like someone is holding onto your head. Rotate the torso. Keep your head in line with your spine and neck. So what is rotating here is your core, your shoulders. You're rotating around the midline of the spine. Breathing in, release, come all the way back to the floor. Now take your block and put it to whatever side works. I want you to hang out for a moment. Just hang. And then make sure you're not locking your knees. Could go high, could go low. You can do whatever movement you feel will help your body open or feel a little bit more connected. Nice deep breath. It's good to hang in this position. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Woo, yeah. Woo. All right. So let's take some of these twisty things and stuff all the way onto the floor. Into Dandasana, inner spiral. I want to do a twist with Janu Shirsasana. I love this little opening of the heart here on this one. So the first thing is that you must notice whether what my feet were starting to do, which was sickle. See? I have autopilot. I am not immune, even though I've been doing this pretty strong yoga practice for all these years. So big toe mound presses away, little toe mound comes to the ears. That gets the whole of your leg flat onto the floor. We want to have that stability. Okay, then take your left leg out and bring your left foot up. Now, I've been teaching this so that if your knee is hurting you in any way, you either do a pillow. I find a block a little hard, so I would, suggest a pillow or a blanket or something, but you don't want your body to be uncomfortable. Your body's going to hold on at that point. What we're trying to do is help it to release. So the first one we're going to do in this one is just come forward. And again, we're going to use all the same principles of the heart coming forward, belly in, and then inhale up. I do want you to bring your hand to the back of your head. This makes it all very more difficult because now you're relating to your core. Back of the head and core are connected. We really want that connection. What will break it? Look in your own body. I'll tell you what breaks it for me. If I'm here, I'm here. If I break right here, if my chest starts going forward, which, can feel good, I don't feel my hips anymore. I can't feel my belly. I have to bring my rib cage in. I gotta find my sits bones again, press my head into my hand, engage my neck so that my neck is feeling strong and keeping that curve in your neck, then taking it forward. Now I have a connection head to hip, and that isn't being ripped out from the center of my being. Just notice it in your own body. I'm not saying that my body is like everyone else's. What allows you to feel head to hips and belly in this pose? Good. Inhale up. Just a couple more times. Exhale forward. And inhale up. And I find that once I do it a few more times, I can actually get to one of the real problems, my piriformis. It loves to scream in my body. Good. And just exhale forward. And inhale up. I keep it at bay. Keep it at bay. So we're going to move our torso between our legs now and come forward. Different experience. Now I'm getting my inner groins. I'm getting some of my lower backs. Just feel where you are feeling this. Exhale forward, inhale up. It's all about that inner communication. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Woo! Again, whatever you need to do to feel your belly, to feel the power of your core, and then your hips. Inhale all the way up. You're going to take your block, bring your block to the right side. Left arm reaches, crosses over. You're going to hold your legs straight. Hand is going to the outside of your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Right hand onto the block, and we're rotating. Inhale up. Last thing you're going to see me go is my head. I want my shoulders to be in place. I want my belly connected, rib cage. Then, I'm not going to be fooled by my head. My head will go to where my torso went. And breathe. And you might hear some popping. You might hear something. Good. Good. Then release back. And here's where the other twist comes in. You're either going to take your thigh, bring it around your foot, and you're going to hold the thigh with your left hand, or you're going to hold on to your foot with your left hand. Whatever works for you. It's wherever you are allowed to stretch your spine forward, stay connected, belly, head, back of the head. Because we're twisting. You're taking your right hand, going underneath your left hand to the outside of your right knee, your left knee, and then looking under. more. So you're using other parts of the body to really work the other parts of your body. That's it. Just see if you can find that. Left hand's onto the knee, right hand's crossing under. Good. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Now there's a all right, maybe we need to do down dog before we go to the other side. Down dog or dolphin, I'll let you do it, whichever one works for you. I've been loving dolphin. I'm gonna do dolphin, forearm down, hands clasped. You can do down dog, lifting up. I love the way that this allows me to have my long torso. Bend into the knees. You just want to feel your back of your head and your belly connected. Breathing in, get the rib cage out of the way. Bring your rib cage towards your lower back, or your upper back, so that, or mid back, I should say, so that you can really feel the power of your core pressing your thighs back. It's a very nice, wonderful winter stretch through the spine. Woo. Good, then release and come all the way back onto the floor, whether it was dolphin or down dog. I'm going to do the other side. Take the block over to the left this time. Got a ways to go. Take a nice deep breath, inner spiral. Kind of gauge. Let's bring the hands to the head. And just right here in Dandasana, I'm not even going to do too much. Just head to hand, hand to hand. Feel how sometimes our neck is just unconnected. And again, it's that Jalanhara Bandha. Okay, press, and again, it's light pressing. This is not, we're not going anywhere but just a communication. And see if you can bring it to your belly. There is a wonderful, strong connection for opening the heart. All right, so bring that down. Right leg is going out. Right foot is going into your thigh. Again, your foot, don't let it sickle. Don't let it kind of go off here. Upright, and big toe mound presses away, little toe mound to yours. That flattens your hamstrings. And it gives you a little bit more of a stable base. And it's done through the feet, like we do on the standing poses. The feet really control your legs. Legs control your back. So coming forward again, remember all the things that need to be in place for you to feel the power of the energy surging through your body. And then inhale, just a little touch of eternity each time we do this. Exhale forward. And we do more eternity that we bring into our daily life, the more patience we have, the more resilience we have, the more we're able to really open our hearts. Inhale up, more secure we are in being the wildflowers that we are. Exhale forward. Inhale up, just breathing in. Exhale forward. And inhale up, rotate the torso, so now you're in between. It's going to stretch different parts of your, at least it does on me, different parts of my lower back and leg. Inhale up. In fact, this time I really have to listen to make sure that I'm not overstretching my inner groins, especially winter time. Inhale up. Good. Exhale forward. It's just this patience. What was it? The year of the ox is today, isn't it? The year of the ox. It has to do with abundance, prosperity, diligence, and perseverance. I thought, oh, wow. Wonderful things to bring into our year. Inhale, year of the ox. We need the ox. Come forward and come back again. So we'll do the easy twist first. The right hand onto the left knee. Everything's got to stay pretty stable. My knee is not going anywhere. It's hugging in to my hand. Same thing, head to hand. And it's the same thing like we did with our head and hand. Knee and hand, right? You have to work with the bodies. Rotate the torso, but don't let your head tell you you've gone somewhere. Feel it through your body first. Inhale up, rotate the torso, rotate the shoulders, then let the head go, and then reap the benefits of the deep twist. Taking a nice deep breath. And get us all moving this energy. Don't hold the energy. If something's ready to let go, let it go. Just breathe in. Whatever it is you feel you need to breathe in at this moment in time. Feel your power. Good. The release, come all the way back to center. And this is where you're either going to hold on to your foot or you're going to hold on to your tie. It's the opposite hand. So your right hand is holding on to the tie or your foot. Whatever works for you. I will show it with the hand. I'm going to press my big toe down into my arm. Cross, your left is underneath and reaching for your right knee. So we're doing this whole crossing over twisty thing, lifting your right elbow up and looking underneath. And again, just stretching, breathing into the stretch. Going to what your edge is. You don't want to overdo ever. You want to breathe into the edge, feel it, let the breath move. Deep breath, 3-part yogic breath. Never lost that through the class. And again, head in line with your spine. You're just looking underneath your head, but don't let your head break. Let your head be part of the spine. It's part of what keeps us in our hearts, is that we feel that strength, and then inhale and come all the way back up. Good. Come back to Dandasana. Just let your knees bounce. And come into Baddha Konasana. Good, let your knees just flutter, lift up through. You can almost feel that flow of energy inside. And once again, just see if you can feel that head to head business, where you feel like your neck is in line with your spine and that it's active, that it hasn't gone to sleep. Not coming forward, it's not coming back, it's right on top. And someone is pulling your hair up to the very top. Good. And then release and come all the way back. So move everything off of your mat now. Come all the way onto your back. Let your knees come into your chest and let your knees roll in one direction. And then roll in the opposite direction. The whole time you're moving in and out of your low back curve and then losing it and then gaining it again. Just notice. And you're massaging the lower part of your back. Good. And then let your legs go straight out. Let your arms go overhead. Just do a big stretch, a big Valentine stretch on the floor. We're just breathing right into your heart chakra. Just feeling the power of the practice. Maybe stretching one hand over your head a little bit more than the other. Just kind of pressing the arms, pulsing the length of your arms. Breathing in. And then doing whatever last pose may be calling for you. And the last pose calling for you may be just laying on the floor and putting on clothes. But whatever that might be, just find your way into a final pose and then putting on clothes for Shavasana. Leave it here on the floor. Allow yourself to feel the power of the earth pulsing through you. And connection to the earth and the earth's connection to you. for silver linings, for fairy bells, and sparkling light, colors that sing, and trees that communicate. In a world full of mystery and intrigue, I wonder, why are you bored? So allow small movements to come back into your fingers and back into your toes. And let your knees float up into your chest and hug them in, gently rocking from side to side. And then roll to one side as you pause for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. And then continue the side roll all the way up into a seated pose. And bring your hands to prayer position at your heart center. And together we will do one Om. So take a breath in. May we have peace in our heart and peace in our mind and true and everlasting peace and healing on this planet. Namaste. So have a wonderful, happy Valentine weekend, everyone.
Thank you, Rose. You too.
Yes, absolutely. Enjoy, enjoy.
Thank you, Rose, so much. Bye-bye.